Hey, deserving listeners, couples therapy, let's watch. I put a poll on YouTube asking y'all which couple I should react to next, and the overwhelming majority of you voted for Boris and Jessica. So I'm curious about them. Let's watch. All right, so the first thing we're learning is they've been together for 8 years, so I'm going to keep notes.
And ironically, no sooner have we arrived in a life that's finally supposed to be stable, a good place for the kids, a home we own, we are just aliens to each other.
Okay, so I am going to be reacting to both the couple and to the therapy. I have, if you didn't know, I've been a couple therapist for almost 30 years, and I've been teaching couple therapy for almost that long as well. It's a passion of mine. I consider it to be a very important form of therapy. There's so many benefits when couples are getting along well and having that fulfillment. At the very least, they're not fighting all the time. You know, the implication or the effects on parenting and attachment and well-being and health. Research shows that if you're in a healthy couple relationship, you are less likely to die. So it can shorten your life to have conflict or to not have a healthy attached relationship with a companion. Anyway, so I'm going to be commenting on a lot of things. And the first thing we hear, and I'm going to take notes, is I assume that's Boris. Boris is saying for the first time we're stable and we are aliens to each other. Okay.
City on a kind of existential adventure like 2 weeks later, and we didn't stop moving despite having 2 kids along the way until 3 months ago.
Wow.
New York, Miami, New Jersey, New York City, and then Montana, which is where we've been for the last 2 years.
What was
Okay, so we're learning at least some of the basis for the instability that Boris is mentioning, and it sounds like Jessica agrees with that narrative that they have not had stability, so they have moved around.
what were you?
My parents settled in New York upon immigrating from the USSR, and it never quite sat right with me.
Okay, so we're learning some details. I'm going to take notes on this too, that his family emigrated from the USSR in 1988, and he's saying it never sat well with him that they lived in New York, it sounds like.
Before we immigrated, like, we were the unwanted people. And
Jewish family?
Yeah. I grew up among people who carried around a tremendous sense of having been unwanted and unsafe. And as a younger person, I had many dreams of going somewhere else.
Okay, so who knows if this history is related to the problems in their marriage, whatever that is, we haven't heard it yet. But it is notable, and you know, transgenerational trauma is something that sometimes can be stealthy, and it sounds like we're hearing some indications of that. It could be actually quite severe, even though, you know, let's say Boris was not traumatized growing up, even though it kind of sounds like he was. Even if he wasn't, trauma can be passed down through the generations. So maybe there's some thread there.
Every next place was pursuit of the fantasy of a kind of a place that makes you feel at home. To have done this in our mid to late 30s with a new baby while she's trying to get her career off the ground, it was a disaster.
What's your career?
Okay, so we're hearing that he was the one who wanted to move, and that she, sounds like she was up for it, but she didn't initially want to. And he was looking for a place where he fit in. And, you know, you could imagine for him, I don't know how old he was when he came over from the USSR, but I wouldn't be surprised if he felt very much out of place and always fantasized that once he had enough money or power or something that he would try living somewhere else to see if he could fit in somewhere else. And sounds like he is now realizing that it didn't really work.
I'm a psychotherapist.
Well, it's hard to move.
Yeah, well, I had a very tough time in Miami. Nobody wanted to go to therapy in Miami.
Okay, interesting. She's a therapist. Some people might think that would really change things, right, for the therapist, Orna. But it doesn't really, because therapists have problems too. usually you can depend on them to have a little bit more self-awareness, but not necessarily. In fact, the average therapist that I've treated, I wouldn't know that they were a therapist. They wouldn't have any more insight. Maybe they have some language around things, but I feel like today a lot of people have language. So, it could go to either way. Now, could a therapist present as very self-aware and very healthy in therapy in contrast to their partner? Yeah, it's possible. So, we'll keep an eye out. All right, let's take a little break here. The rest of this video will be for members of the YouTube channel. By becoming a member, you are absolutely giving me the ability to even make any of the content that I make, because by becoming a member, you're literally paying my bills so that I can spend time doing this instead of working at the university more or more in my private practice. So if you like what we're doing here, it's really great to become a YouTube member, and especially an upper tier member or a Patreon or a patron or both. Anyway, so the rest of this video will be for members of the YouTube channel. Otherwise, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.